Okay, so for the second post on whether or not I believe that the death penalty should be enforced or abandoned, I really struggle with giving a straightforward answer, and I don't think I have. I just don't think I can give like a straightforward yes or no on that because I see both sides very clearly. And originally, I was leaning more towards, like, coming into this unit, I was leaning more towards the death penalty just because I didn't know a lot about it. And also, like, what I was believing was just how I couldn't understand how people that commit murder and rape and stuff like that, and then like to the extent of, like, say Jeffrey Dahmer, where you're meditating on those crimes so intently and you're just completely mutilating people and in the most horrific sense. It's things like that where I can see the death penalty being enforced. But after reading, I think it was Karl Barth's the reading that was posted in Canvas, kind of gave me new perspective on, as Christians, because Karl goes on to say, as Christians, it's basically a no. It should always be a no about the death penalty. So that did convict me a little bit, and I can understand how, that was the whole reason for Jesus coming and the resurrection, is that all people are forgiven and all sins are forgiven. But I think also, that's a personal choice you have to make. You have to ask for forgiveness and you have to repent for that. And I don't know if people that can commit those kinds of crimes would repent almost after just being locked up for life. Like, I don't know if that would do it. Because the second reading also talked about how the prison is hardening them more than it is changing them and reforming them. And so going to the models of punishment that were discussed, I lean more towards retribution, but I can resonate also with deterrence. I just think rehabilitation is, I don't want to say too nice, but doesn't cause justice in the sense of those kinds of crimes. That's just my belief. But as a Christian, I also, that's kind of what we're called to do and kind of how Jesus ministered. So I can see that and I can believe that. But then there's also the verses brought up in the second reading about Genesis 9:6 and how justice is brought through kind of retribution, kind of acts. So I don't have a clear answer, but I think depending on the crime, could be enforced for different things. However, I don't think it should be something so allowable and so used and widespread. I think it's a hard moral decision, but that's just kind of where I stand with that. So